Hello viewers, my name is George Gaddafi and welcome to Voice Live channel. If you're watching us from anywhere, please subscribe and share this video. Today I want to talk to you about a very interesting topic that I think has posed challenge to a lot of us, and that is self-esteem. So what is self-esteem? Self-esteem is an opinion or an image that you have on yourself that will determine your behavior. And to be able to understand this biblically, I just want to try and compare this with the children of Israel when they left the land of Egypt and they were headed to the promised land, which is Canaan. A story is told to us in the book of Numbers chapter 13, and if you read down all the way, it talks about how God called Moses and told Moses that let him appoint some children of Israel, I think there were 12, to go and survey the land that God had already promised them, which was Canaan. And as we all know that Canaan was a land which was full of milk and honey and fruits and all that the children of Israel would require in their life. So Moses summoned those 12 and they went to the land of Canaan, and they came back with a report. The report was not all that pleasing to the children of Israel, those who were able to listen to them, because there was a very big challenge. The big challenge was that, yes, everything that they needed was available in that land, was there. And they brought some samples and they actually saw those. But the challenge was that the people they found or they saw in the land of Canaan were so big, like they were like giants. And in comparison to them, as the Bible puts it, that they said that they were looking like grasshoppers compared to the giants that they saw in Canaan. But the tricky part is that they forgot that God Himself took them all the way from Egypt through the wilderness, and now they are reaching the promised land that God has already promised them, because when they were leaving Egypt, God promised them that I'm going to take you to the best place that you will never be slaves again. And when God summoned Moses and told Moses, this is the land, and just send some people to survey and see how it is, they kind of freaked out. Now the low self-esteem kicked in on the people that were sent to the land of Canaan. And the report they brought back was that they could not be able to fight these individuals that were in the land of Canaan that God promised them. And now the image or the opinion that they put in themselves is that they were little people, they were small compared to those big people. And that is what we always put in our lives, that whenever we are faced with big challenges, you look at the challenge compared to what you have, or the strength that you have, or the little that you have left compared to the huge problem that you are facing, then you end up giving up. One thing that I have always realized in my life is that when God is besides me, when God is with me, I know that everything is possible, because He has already promised. When God promises you something, eventually He will be able to give it to you. You'll be able to have it. So it's a matter of how you navigate through all these challenges to break through the bigger challenge that you have, so that you achieve that result that you want. But if you allow the self-esteem to kick in into you, then you are not going to make it through. So let's look at this story of David. David, as we know, was the lastborn in his family, and when they needed the king, they came to his family, and his brothers were there. They were heavily built, as we know, and his father thought that the king will come out of this heavily endowed people that they thought that were stronger to be the king. But as they were trying to get who God anointed, none of them appeared until David was called from where he was taking care of his flock, which is the sheep that he was taking care of, and he was anointed as the king. But as we know, people thought that David could not become the king because his story is also now mentioned to us in terms of self-esteem when Goliath comes in terms of challenging the Israelites. And you know, now David's brothers are in the field. They are there fighting. Everybody is so scared to go down the valley to be able to fight Goliath. But now David, who was sent to bring food to his brothers, poses a challenge to the king, and he asks the king, okay, fine, what will be done to the person that will be able to kill Goliath? And as story went by, we know that David himself made it possible, and God worked through David and he killed Goliath. What do we learn from that? How do we prepare ourselves to ensure that the giant in front of us does not appear to be more powerful than us? So these are kind of some few steps that I think that you can be able to implement in your life to be able to take away that low self-esteem, so that you have the courage to face those challenges that you may have. One is that you have to have a confidence. Like David, he had a borrowed confidence. The borrowed confidence that he had was that he was facing a lot of wild animals when he was taking care of his flock, and he had to face them. So David had that confidence that he had already faced during the process of him taking care of his flock, and that confidence made him go through the valley when all the soldiers of Israel were so scared to go and fight Goliath. So confidence is a key factor in terms of lifting your self-esteem. The other thing is that now you need to focus on reward. When you don't focus on reward, you will lose a lot, because now you are limiting your capability to move forward. You see, so focusing on reward will help you overcome your limitations that you have. You may look like you're a young person, or the savings that you have as compared to the challenges that, or the problems that you have, might be bigger. That, you know what, when you focus on reward that you are going to achieve, will be able to help you overcome the limitations that you might be thinking about. The other thing is preparation. Preparation, as I always say, preparation prevents poor performance. When you are prepared in challenging the obstacles that you have, it will put you in the best place to be able to fight that challenge. Preparation helps a lot. You must make sure that you prepare yourself. For example, if you're going to sit for an exam and you don't prepare yourself, eventually you're going to fail. Or luckily, if you probably have a miracle, then you'll be able to pass exam. Or if you're going for an interview, which is an obstacle or a giant for you, then you need to be able to do what? Prepare yourself in terms of that aspect that you're looking forward to break through on. I want to use this analogy of dressing well. Dressing well helps you a lot. It elevates the self-esteem. Let's look at the story of David. David himself, he was given these big regalias to be able to put in to go and fight Goliath, and the shield and the spear that he had. And he looked at himself, because he had already prepared himself in the field when he was taking care of the flock. And all these clothes were so heavy on him. And he said, you know what, I'm not going to be better placed with this heavy load on my body. And he took them off. So he dressed well for the battle. Dressing well in terms of being flexible, having that flexibility to be able to maneuver through. So dressing well does not mean like it's only clothes. No. How do you package yourself to be able to fight that obstacle, or to face that obstacle that you have? So dressing well also helps in terms of elevating yourself. Even naturally, when you dress well, when you're going for an interview, it gives you a different kind of image. So, and I just want to share that with you, that elevating your self-esteem encompasses a lot in terms of how you perceive yourself, the image you have on yourself, the opinion you have on yourself. When you are trying to do an investment and the only fear that you have is that I'm not going to make it, you've already formed an opinion that this is not going to work. When you have an interview that is coming in a few days, and you've already put an image or an opinion that, you know what, I think they've already selected somebody, I'm not going to be able to make it through. Ensure that you prepare yourself, have a borrowed confidence, and then elevate your self-esteem to be up there, and that will be able to make you have a better edge in terms of passing through or going through the challenges that you may think you are not worth of. Because when you put a negative opinion about you, you lower your self-esteem. And once you lower your self-esteem, game done. You are not going to make it through. I just want to encourage you as time goes by in this year, that forget about all that has happened. Get yourself back on track. Have better opinions or positive opinions about you. Put in that image that you are a winner already, because if you don't put yourself as a winner already, chances are you're not going to give yourself 100% in terms of what you're looking for, either interview, either you trying to do an exam, or you trying to put yourself into some investment, or even starting a family. So don't go into these challenges thinking that you're not going to make it. Already put a positive aspect in you, put a positive vibe in you, that I am a winner already and I've got this. Thank you so much for listening to me, and watch out for more videos to come from this channel. Bye-bye.